Hey Archery Talk, this is Lucas, and today it is time for my early review of the brand new, fresh off the presses, Prime Form. This is a interesting looking bow. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this, or really anything close to this before from a manufacturer, at least in my years of covering archery. And I kind of wanted to give this some special attention. Prime was nice enough to send me this bow before the official release date, so I've had a chance now to shoot this for about a week. And try to come up with some thoughts and maybe opinions for you guys on the new bow and the new riser and all of that. Let's talk specs first. This bow has an axle to axle length of 34 inches. It has a brace height of 6¼ inches. Draw lengths go from 26.5 to 30.5 inches. This bow has come with 29-inch mods. Prime is going to send me 30-inch mods, which is my regular draw length. So I have been shooting this a little bit more compact of a draw length than I normally would. That'll change in the very near future when those 30-inch mods get here, and I'll follow up with more information on that in a little while. The thing to talk about, however, as you may well guess, is this riser. This is a very unique setup. Prime is basically kind of segmented the riser. Instead of having one solid piece of aluminum, they've now got 3 separate sections of aluminum combined together with some carbon tubes. And when I saw this, I had questions immediately for Prime. Like, why did you do this? And then is there any kind of danger of this being, maybe not as sturdy as an aluminum riser would be? And Prime has answers. Their main thing about why they did this was to lighten the load. So they are saying this bow is now about a ½ pound lighter than last year's model, a little less than ½ pound. They are saying the bare bow weighs in at 4.1 pounds. On my scale, it's 4.3 pounds, but it is not unusual at all for my test bows to come in heavier than the manufacturers say they do. That is almost exclusively happens that way. So 0.2 pounds is pretty much a negligible amount in my opinion. And I will say this bow is very light in the hand. I don't have a carbon bow on hand this year to compare it to, but I know this is lighter than some carbon bows on the market already. They definitely shave some weight. The riser is also different besides the carbon tubes, as you can see just from the shape and the angles of the riser, a little bit different than the RVX I tested last year. But specs-wise, it's fairly close outside of me not knowing the rated speed. The brace height's maybe a ½ inch shorter. I think last year the RVX was 6.5 inch, the RVX 34 that I shot last year. But yeah, the carbon and the aluminum kind of hybrid riser is the thing to talk about. As far as the durability of this, I asked Prime about that as well, and they told me that in their testing, and they've put up to 700 pounds of pressure on this bow with no issues whatsoever, and they say they can double that, and then the aluminum will actually give away and bend before the carbon or the bonding that they've done is compromised. That bonding is called Weld. I don't know what that means, that's Prime's terminology, but they're saying, and I quote, they're saying bulletproof. Again, you can quote Prime on that, not on me, that's what that was told. I'm gonna believe them for the time being. This is a unique looking bow, flat out, but I'm very much willing to give Prime the benefit of the doubt. That is a company that over-engineers their bows. I've never had a Prime bow with any issue to speak of. They shoot fantastic. They have some of the greatest draw cycles I've ever shot in the last few years. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on this unique and innovative design. Again, I love when people do things that no one else has done. This is something, at least as far as I know, no one else has done before. And overall, I'm pretty cool to see what Prime has put together for us. So despite the different looking riser, this is still very much a compound bow like other Prime bows you've had over the recent years. Tuning this bow was a real simple process for me this year. Prime sends their bows with these kind of like 4 dots, so 2 on each cam. You can kind of line a string along there to kind of see if your cams are timed, and mine was timed out of the box, which is unusual. I usually have to do a little bit of twisting of cables to get things lined up perfectly. It's shooting through paper really well so far. Take that with a grain of salt because, again, I'm shooting this with 29-inch mods instead of 30-inch mods, so it feels a little strange to me. But the bow set up very fast. It shoots very nice. Overall, I'm really happy with the early performance of this bow. Again, and it feels really light in the hand. I did some speed testing with this bow, and I shot a 350 grain arrow with this bow set up for 70 pounds of draw and technically 29.25 inches of draw length. And with that 350 grain arrow, I saw speeds of 314 feet per second every time I shot that arrow. And with a heavier 455 grain arrow, I saw speeds of 279 and 278 feet per second, so let's say 279. And that really is in line when you consider the shorter draw length of the speeds I saw last year out of the RVX 34. I think last year I was getting around 325 feet per second, and so with an extra inch of draw, this should get around that 323 to 325 range. And I think, you know, with the heavier arrow, I think we'll see more closer to 288, 289 feet per second, which again is plenty fast for me. It is not a speed bow by any means. I am very much aware of that. I don't know what the rated speed is yet, so we'll wait and see. And also, Prime has let me know that they're going to have some performance mods for these bows, which will give you an extra 7 to 8 feet per second at every draw length. I don't have those in yet. I'm hoping they're going to send me some performance mods when they send the actual 30-inch draw length mods for me. I'm going to follow up with a long-term review, you know, down the road once I get all the hunting bows in for the 2025 shootout, and we'll follow up with more of that. Let's talk about my favorite thing to discuss when I'm looking at any bow review or any bow testing at all, and that's how it actually feels to shoot the bow. Again, in my mind, that's the most important aspect of any bow, because if you don't feel comfortable shooting it, then you're not going to shoot it. You'll choose something else. So this bow follows suit of the kind of the RVX and RevX of the years past, and it is a fantastic draw cycle. It is so light feeling. Keep in mind this is 29 inches instead of my usual 30 inches, but it is a treat to draw. It's relatively easy to let down as well, as you'd expect from a draw cycle like that. This is, again, not a speed bow as we discussed earlier on, but it feels fantastic. And to me, that's a win. I get plenty of speed for my draw length. And it just, I don't know, it's having a draw cycle that's that easy that you could repeat again and again and again is worth its weight in gold for me. It holds on target well. It's a 34-inch bow. It feels much the same as the RVX did last year, just again, significantly lighter in the hand. So we'll draw that back one more time for you. And again, we'll talk. There's not a lot of negativity in the draw cycle. Again, and that's what you'd expected of a bow. It's kind of those performance numbers in my mind. It's just an easy bow to draw. There's no noticeable hump in the valley. You know, I don't know, you know, Prime's formula for having bows that draw like that, but I sure appreciate it. Again, it's as far as pure draw cycle goes, this is going to be an awful tough one to beat this year. So there you have it. The Prime bows have been among my favorites to shoot over the last few years, and this is no different. This core cam is a carryover from the RVX 34 I shot last year, and it feels absolutely as good as last year's model did, if not even a little bit better. It's hard to say without shooting them back to back, but I'm absolutely loving how this bow is going so far. MSRP on this bow is going to be $1,600. I think MAP is about $1,500. So, you know, go to your local dealer and I'm sure they'll give you the best price they can. I am very curious how other people are going to feel about this bow when they get out and shoot it. I'm equally as interested to see how it holds up long term. Again, as I mentioned off the top, I am very much in the mode of giving Prime the benefit of the doubt, as they make bows that are over-engineered and hold up to anything I've ever thrown at them in the past. And I've been testing these for, I think, 6 or 7 years now, and never an issue for me. Archery Talk, thank you so much for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel an awful lot. And we'll see you soon with more on this bow and all the other 2025 hunting bows we're going to be getting in.